Good afternoon, I'm Belinda De Lasheras with Hunter News. Members of the public have helped to arrest a man over an alleged armed robbery at Wallsend's Matilda service station this morning. It's understood the male was taken into custody just after 9:30 following the second hold-up at the business in less than 2 days. It comes after a knife-wielding man escaped the premises with a small amount of cash on Saturday, wearing a grey beanie with cut-out eye holes. Detectives are investigating both incidents. As O-Week festivities kick into high gear at the University of Newcastle today, it's been revealed a new cohort of students could be forced to fork out up to $100,000 for their degrees. It comes as PM Tony Abbott continues to pursue legislation to cut university funding by 20%, deregulating fees to allow unis to charge what they want. The University of Newcastle will face cuts of more than $153 million from their budget over the next 4 years if the changes go ahead. Federal Newcastle MP Sharon Clayton says everyone will lose out if the new legislation's approved.
It's not just about personal benefit, a higher education pathway. It's also an incredible contribution to our national productivity. We want people to be the best educated people Australia can produce.
The state's parliamentary inquiry into the Environmental Protection Agency is demanding an evidence-based review into the management of coal train pollution in the Hunter following repeated complaints over coal dust. It's recommended the EPA work with the chief scientist and engineer to review the way air quality around coal trains is monitored in the region. Shadow Minister for Primary Industries and Resources Steve Wan says protecting residents' jobs and health is a top priority.
We need to ensure that the industry, which employs tens of thousands of people in the Hunter and around the state, is able to continue to give those families their incomes, but at the same time doesn't cause health problems for people in the valley.
Lambton Pool could be set to transform into a year-round regional aquatic and fitness centre on the back of Saturday's Ward 3 Council by-election. Labor candidate Declan Clausen is promising to introduce a motion calling on feasibility planning if he's elected, so funding can finally be sought to get the project off the ground. He says the centre would benefit both the pool and patrons.
There were literally thousands of people enjoying the pool during summer. During winter, it's sad to see it sitting empty. There's the opportunity to see some of those numbers come back in the middle of winter. Australians love to swim, and lots of Australians make use of some of the other facilities around town, like the ocean baths that are open year-round. And it would be great to see a facility in our suburbs also be open so that people can come and use it throughout the year.
A community reference group is set to be established in Lake Macquarie to open the lines of communication between residents and the lead expert working group. The collective will allow residents to raise their concerns about soil contamination from the former Pasminco lead smelter. Hunter Manager of the Environment Protection Authority, Alan Gilligan, says existing solutions are undergoing assessment as new ones are being considered.
We certainly know that the area has been subject to significant levels of lead over the last 100 years or so, and what we want to do over the coming months is establish whether the lead abatement strategies that have been put in place have been effective, and if there's any cause for concern, to put in place additional measures to address the risk of exposure to the community.
And there have been calls to block Hunter anti-mining activists involved in illegal protests from qualifying for tax deductibility. New South Wales Mining insists the groups shouldn't be allowed to stand side by side with charitable organisations such as the Salvos, who receive tax breaks for donations under the deductible gift recipient status. Now with sport, Annabelle Regan.
The Newcastle Jets' fighting spirit continues to flicker after the side picked up a late 1-1 draw against Western Sydney on Saturday. Brendan Santalab put the Wanderers in front with a penalty in the 85th, but Korean import Lee Ki-ji managed to avert a Jets disaster, landing an equaliser in extra time. Coach Phil Stubbins says the 23-year-old's just tapping into his talent.
I think it's great for everyone to see Ki-ji finally have a run for the team, and to score the goal like he did, perform like he did, will suggest to everyone that we've got a bit of a gem there at 23 years of age.
Knights coach Rick Stone has been left with some selection puzzles to solve ahead of Saturday's trial against the Raiders. It comes as halfback Jaylene Feeney and centre Pat Metaltia prepares to undergo scans this week after suffering respective elbow and ankle injuries in the team's second-tier wins over Port Macquarie and Wauchope. And the Jets' young guns are celebrating after clinching a 2-1 victory over the Wanderers in the National Youth League yesterday. That's sport. I'm Annabelle Regan.
2NURFM news time is 12:10.